Had some help from a friend of mine who's actually also got a Land Rover. His is a Series 2A, it's an ex-military from Switzerland. So he just came up in that and gave me a hand with the bleeding of the brakes. So when I first loosened off the nipple on the rear left-hand side, so the offside brake cylinder, there wasn't much pressure coming out. You know, the brake fluid wasn't coming out very fast. So I was just thinking of this pump here, and I'd had problems with this in the past. So after trying to bleed all of the brakes, so I went rear left, rear right, rear left, rear right, front left, front right. So it's the longest to the shortest sections of the brake system. But I realised in here, you can either get to this. This is the brakes, the master cylinder for the braking system. You can get to it through here. You remove this small grommet here, or you can take off the top, which is much easier actually. And what I ended up doing, I realised that I'd set this quite far forward, so the pump or the cylinder, the master cylinder, wasn't getting much of a reach. So we changed that. We moved that as far out as we could, as you can see here. And I'm yet to tighten these up, but it seemed to work a lot better. So we went round and bled the brakes again, and there's quite a bit of pressure in the system now. So I'm going to put it all back together, and I'm hoping that will be enough, because this is the last job I need to do before I take it for an MOT. So here's hoping. Okay, so just taking it for a test drive after bleeding all the brakes, and there is absolutely no difference whatsoever. The brakes are really spongy and just basically don't work at all. So back to square one, unfortunately, which is a bit annoying because it's just a waste of very good brake fluid. So I think maybe the master cylinder that I bought for it is bad. I've got a front axle from a long wheelbase, which gives the slightly larger drum brakes. They're 11-inch at the front and then 10-inch only at the back. And I've used a long wheelbase master cylinder, so I don't know if that's got anything to do with it. When I first did it, when I first fitted the cylinder, and you know, last summer, I bled the brakes and they worked perfectly fine. And now it's not working at all, so I think it might be a dodgy master cylinder. That's the easiest thing to swap out. There's no air in the brake lines, so just not getting much pressure behind the brakes. So at a bit of at a loss really, but I think I'm going to order a new brake master cylinder, and see how that works. There's not much more I can do on the brakes today, so I've decided to carry on with some painting work, or preparation for painting work, on these side panels that I've got. The ones on the Land Rover are, they've been fitted with a later style Defender window, but these are the correct period ones from, I think it's a Series 2A or an earlier Series 3, but they have the sliding glass windows and the slightly more angular rear windows. So yeah, I'm going to prepare that today, and might even get some paint on. So I've got both the side panels undercoated with an etch primer. I used about, I think, 2.5 cans on doing these. So I rubbed them down, took out all of the old rivets and things like that, all of the old screws, and what was quite difficult was taking out these runners. They're all screwed in. Some of the screws I got out, some of them I had to grind down, so I'll just have to re-drill the holes for the screws, but that's no big deal. I'm going to take the rubber seals from the old roof and put them on here. saves a little bit of money. And I've also got all the glass and the seals, they're all new. So that's the first coat. In fact, I've probably done 2 coats on each panel, and I'm going to let them dry overnight and put the sandstone colour on the top, the finishing coat on the top tomorrow. So it's quite nice starting the day with quite a tidy workshop. Can't really see much of it, but yeah, I tidied it up yesterday evening just before I left. So today I'm going to concentrate on getting some paint actually on those on the roof sides there. It's a lovely day, very sunny outside, but it is a bit blowy, so I'm probably just gonna sort of set something up in here, move the car outside, and set something up by the door here because it's still quite sunny and warm, so hopefully the paint will dry, and get a couple of coats of sandstone on the, I think, is it called sandstone? Limestone, I can't remember. That colour anyway, that roof colour, onto the sides, windows, onto the roof sides. First layer of the top coat on. It all went pretty well. It's a bit difficult to get into nooks and crannies here. I mean, it's not a professional respray by any means, just a garage job, but it's actually going on quite well. I guess I did about 10 or 15% thinners to the paint. I had one run along here, which you can see quite obviously, which is a bit annoying. But otherwise, you can't really see it, but it's actually come up pretty well. So I'm going to let that one dry and then put the next coat on. Okay, so I've finished the side panels. I'm pretty pleased with them. I put 3 coats on, 3 or 4 really, I think, but it's gone on pretty well. I've taken all the tape off as well, so I'm just looking at it for the first time, and no, I'm really pleased with them actually. I mean, it's bearing in mind how they looked before, you know, looking pretty good. I taped up those brackets there. The other ones already had paint on these ones, so I just left those, but I've kept it the same either side. But yeah, quite pleased with that. I cleaned up that runner there that goes along the window, which is aluminium, and yeah, I've got to fit the runners now and do the glass, but that'll be next weekend. Okay, just pop back in the evening to do a little bit more work, and just on the rear seats, I'm just tidying these up. I've put new staples along here because the others had rusted away. I use 6mm staples. I've done them either side and also on both backrests, and I've also put some new screws in. These ones here, I had to drill new holes because the hole in the wood had just sort of eaten away, so I've put some new screws in so they're all nice and tight, so 4 of those. So I'll do that to both sides and hopefully fit them. Picked up some new screws for these seat backs because as you can see, the original staples have come out and it's really pretty disgusting behind there. It looks like mold or something. So I'm going to take the seats out, clean them up and screw them down using black screws. Backs off these seats, as you saw, and cleaned up all the mould from inside. I actually used white spirit to clean it all off, but I've taken the back off this seat and realised that there's a crack right across it. So I'll probably have to replace that at some point, but what I'm going to do at the moment is I'm going to put some brackets over here, and I will secure it like that for the meantime. So I'm just having to leave the seat backs for a little bit because I haven't got the right Torx bit for these screws. That's at home, so I'm going to bring that up tomorrow. But in the meantime, I'm just looking at, I can't remember if I mentioned this on another video or not, but I'm just looking at a way of securing these bench seats to the body. It's a bit dark in here at the moment, there we go. Because I remember when I used to drive around with a car 20 odd years ago, these would flap about and bang against the side, which is quite annoying really. So what I'm doing is, I'm still using the same holes, because I don't really want to drill any more holes in the wheel well here. I still want to use those holes where they originally were, which actually puts it quite far towards the back here. But the reason for that is that it needs to clear, the seat needs to clear the spare wheel, you see. So I'm going to keep those holes, and I just bought a bracket to fit in a hole that's already on this galvanized piece here, and put one of the original seat backs, buffers if you like, which used to fit just there and there. I took them off so I could get more space in the seats at the front, but that seems to work quite well. What I'll do is I've just put that on there for the minute. What I'm going to do is drill a hole through here, and I've got the bolts. I'm going to fit those all the way through and clamp them in, so that actually these will be then fitted to the frame, so it'll be solid. Okay, so I'm back. It's the next day, Sunday morning, and I've just started by putting some brackets on this crack and some glue along the crack as well, just to try and strengthen that up a bit, and then I'll put the backing plate on. Okay, so I've just got as far as I can on the seats just now. The battery on my screwdriver died, so I'm just charging that, but I thought I'd make a start on the roof. So what I'm doing is I'm taking out all of the bolts that hold this top section to these side panels, and I'm going to lift the roof, take these out, and then put these new ones in just to make sure they fit properly. And then what I'll do is I'll start taking all the rubbers and stuff off these panels, all the fixtures and fittings, build them onto the new ones, and then fit the glass. So that's the next job. Okay, so I've got all the bolts off that roof now. I think, how many of them are there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. About 30 bolts. 30 bolts holding this on top and bottom. But now I've left the ones at the front on, so I don't need to take those off. But now you can see that lifts up quite easily now. And I'm going to prop this up with some wood, take these side panels off, strip them of all the rubbers and everything, and then transfer that to the new ones. Okay, so, whoops, that's both the sides off, and I've basically just propped it up using a bit of wood there that was already here. Yeah, looks pretty cool actually. Be quite a cool modification if you could maybe just put some supports here and leave the hardtop on and have the rest of it off. But yeah, so that's where we're at. I'm now going to, what am I going to do now? Yes, good point. I'm going to take all the bits off this because there's lots of rubbers and connecting brackets and so on. Like this, for example, I've got to transfer to the new sides, and then I'll just put them in just to see if they fit perfectly, because I think the new ones that I've got, the new old ones, I'm not sure if they're a Series 3 or a 2A, so we'll see. Okay, so just put those two sides in, obviously without glass and stuff, and it looks really cool. I've always wanted a set of these sides, and although it's not quite done, we're slowly getting there. So I think that just looks so cool. I'm really pleased with that. And actually, I was a bit concerned about the paint colour difference between the new paint and the old faded paint, and it's a little bit noticeable, but it's really not that bad. It also matches with the wheels as well, because they're newly painted in the same sandstone colour. But I'm really pleased with that. I think that looks really cool. And I mean, I'm not surprised that they don't match up. I had to check though, these all match up in there. I have to replace the brackets there, move those over, but they all match up fine. The only thing I've realised is the seals along here are all stuck down rather than riveted, so if I can get them off, then I'll get them off, but otherwise it would be sensible really to buy all new ones, but seals are actually quite expensive for the Land Rover, so if I can reuse them, then I shall.